Instead of what's in it for me, it's how can I help? It's just that kind of an attitude. So if you look at this, you see we've kind of derived a whole lot of things about us. I'm not a physicist that's into conjecture. I got there through just old-fashioned, physics, old-fashioned see what works. While I was at Monroe's lab, and for the next 35 years afterwards, I'm trying to figure this thing out. What I'm doing is I'm looking for facts about consciousness. One of those facts I find is that consciousness is fundamental. And I know that because I can do things in consciousness that affect the physical. But there's nothing I can do in the physical that actually changes consciousness. So the arrow of causality is from consciousness to the physical. And I repeated those kinds of experiments a lot until that became a fact for me. Now I understand that things that are a fact for me are not necessarily a fact for anybody else. Everybody else who hears this hears an opinion, not a fact. And that's as it should be. I tell people, if it's not your experience, then it can't be your truth. But there's no reason that you can't have the experience that gives you that truth. The people, I published a paper in a peer-reviewed quantum physics journal about experiments that would help, actual, just straightforward quantum experiments that would help provide evidence for this. And there's several experiments. I got one finished, and I've got several more yet to do. And on that paper, I've got a guy from Caltech, mathematics. I got a guy from JPL, physicist. So yes, I run into people and I talk to people who have, good scientific credentials and so on. And it splits two ways. If they're open-minded enough to consider it, they always come over to my side and say, that's fantastic. I understand. That solves a whole lot of problems for me. If they are not open-minded enough to consider it, and they have the attitude, impossible, totally impossible. It's just an if-then statement. This is code. It's a virtual reality.
But you keep saying virtual reality. If this is reality, why is it virtual? Is it just that our understanding of what comprises reality is very limited by our belief in physical only?
No, it's virtual because it's computed. It's a computed reality. It comes out of a computer.
And what is that computer?
Larger consciousness system takes a piece of itself, configures it as a computer.